setting up with 3 handlers. And a lovely swing across to Klima, who sells his mark once again. Logan on disc, and a nice little score to Kolstad. No fuss, no frills.
Again, utilising the full width of the pitch, and one of the things about playing beach, especially when you've got players of this calibre of throwing, is that the pitches are small enough really from one area of the pitch you can kind of throw to any other area of the pitch. So a big cross-field swing all the way from one sideline to the other, because the fields are slightly narrower than they would be outdoors, it's a less risky option, and it means that there's a poach, we can hit that more easily, and then they kind of get back into rhythm there and use the fact that they've got the continuation and the flow to time that cut out towards the open side. Defenders just a step behind, and a nice point in the end for the young legends, reopening a 3-point advantage.
There we go, absolutely. And especially with the wind as light as it is, if you poach off a few steps, those overheads are very much on.
I mean, we saw that earlier in the game, with Shunk just stepping up to the brick mark and then just rifling that hammer deep just through there.
Stefansson just sprinting across the pitch there, making sure there's equal sideline presence for both teams.
Yeah, ever so slightly larger roster for the Germans by just the one player. Oh no, actually, because he's not here. Exactly the same size rosters for both teams.
Oh, almost a D for Vital there, but Jets retain possession. Got Goliath on the sideline. Oh, and a scuba dump to no one. Langlois puts his hands on his knees and just sort of smiles ruefully.
Yeah, Langlois was coming a bit more behind, but I think from Goliath's perspective, there was the space there, and he perhaps didn't need to move, but evidently they just lost sight of each other perhaps as he goes to release the scuba.
Oh, lovely inside shot from Vital to Struber, who I think has potentially got 3 or 4 goals now for Young Legends.
He's been a bit of a menace, really.
Definitely has. End zone menace. It's all about getting free in those kind of quite small spaces, and if you've got a handler who can break the force, you are golden.
Often you think about goal scorers being your biggest players in terms of size, and Struber he's not a small guy, but often, especially when you're tight into the end zone, as you mentioned, it's about those. You don't necessarily need to battle. It's about having those short, sharp changes of direction, especially on the sand. Keeping that centre of gravity low, staying on the balls of your feet, because you often only need a step of separation. And then, because the windows in the end zone will be smaller because you're working with less space, a step of separation, and a good thrower will know that, yep, I've got the ability to put it in that tight space, as we've seen the Young Legends do there.
So Young Legends on a little bit of a roll with the points here. We'll see if Jets can find another gear and start getting some more on the board. And that is an excellent pull all the way at the back of the end zone.
I was thinking that Bardown maybe could have caught that a bit earlier, but perhaps with the drop ball earlier, it's maybe playing in the back of the mind a bit there.
You're almost certainly right there. But some really nice and quick ultimate here. Handler's not really keeping the disc for more than a few seconds. Oh, and a low one. Well reeled in by Chevalier. He's got 2 cuts coming into the same space. Picks Mallet. Back to Chevalier. Oh, and a nice floating shot. Is it going to stay in? It is good. Gosh, that looked like it could have gone either way there, but really well read and brought back in by Mallet.
Yeah, nice balletic almost footwork there, just towing the line. And it was like, because it was almost overemphasised, but there was no doubt about whether or not he was in or out. Yeah. And I like that they were, they were pushing the pace a little bit there. Trying to think back to reading music. Presto's quickly, isn't it?
In Italian or French?
Italian.
I'm not sure.
But they push the tempo. They're pushing the pace a little bit there, and you can see that actually a lot of the cutters were, because they were moving the disc quickly to start, the disc kind of tended to stay moving quickly because defenders were a bit more out of position. They're a bit more tired trying to keep up and track where the play is, and it made the point a bit easier because the disc had that quick movement.
So we've got Shunk Oh, and an incredible bid from Rabe there, but still brought in by the taller German player. Achenbach on disc, on the sideline, and that's a very nice up the line shot to Vital. He's got Strube in the end zone. Looks for a dump. Oh! Incredible blading flick to Schunk. There's really not much you can do about that as a defender as it curves away from you. Awesome, awesome point.
I mean, that is so sneaky. It's very much, rather than I see this cut developing and we'll throw to it, it's I see that space developing and I'll put the throw there and I'll trust that someone else has also seen that space developing. Now, when you've played together for a while, even if you haven't necessarily had as much training during the pandemic as you otherwise would, you know, you have that faith that, yes, we're gonna read the field in the same way. We're gonna see the same spaces, see the same spots, and I think that is game.
Indeed, it is. Yeah, that's been 45. That was a very quick point, so I guess the soft cap would have been at 10.
Yeah, I didn't hear the who to go.
No.
But maybe with our headphones on, it's just a little bit difficult too.
God, beach goes so quick.
It does, doesn't it? It goes so quick. And, you know, full credit to Jets because they made the young legends really work for it. And they're a team that, you know, would not surprise me if when we get into the bracket stage, they're there or thereabouts with the ability to, you know, maybe take a couple of names. But I think in the end, young legends just have a little bit too much.
Yeah, and I think their deep shots and their precision breakthrows were just really, really nice and potentially gave them an extra edge. Well, thanks so much for sticking with us. Reminder to like, comment and subscribe. Do unspeakable things to the like button.
Settle down.
Ring the bell to be notified every time we go live. We also have a Patreon if you would like to express any donations there for as little as £1, $1, or whatever your local currency is. Or if you are not in a position to support us financially, any engagement with our videos also helps us out a lot.
Yeah, we genuinely really do appreciate it. It's a labour of love that goes into it, and the fact that we're able to do it is brilliant. But obviously, it doesn't come without some costs. So, yeah, even if it is just, you know, you don't have the money to contribute, which I appreciate. Coming out of a pandemic, some people don't. You know, then as we mentioned, getting involved. Oh, what a bit that was as well. Just getting involved is a huge help. But yeah, if you do feel like you are in a position to contribute financially, then you can find all the details actually in the description in the YouTube link. As well, there you can find out the list. You can see some of our top supporters, like I think Patrick from Maddox, who is is an ultimate producer. He's one of almost the top tier of patronage. But even if you don't feel you can contribute that much, it goes kind of all the way down to a couple of currency, a couple of coins a month, depending on what your currency is. I'm not entirely sure how Patreon works with
simoleons.
Yes, with currency conversion, a couple of credits. But yes, you can find all the details. There's a link in the YouTube channel, or alternatively, you can look at our website, which is ulti.TV, which has a little bit more in-depth information about what we do. Or you can just search ulti.TV on Patreon and find us there.
Or indeed any search engine, I imagine it will pop up.
I hope so. Yes. If not, we need to get Mike and Milan on the SEO.
Well, we'll leave you with this fantastic highlights reel. So from Vila Simius, I'm Ali Thomas, joined by the delightful Benji Rees, and we will see you after lunch for more Ultimate action.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.